With Christianity, there are people, some who believe that because the power structure of Christianity has led to certain minority groups being historically mistreated. There are people who believe the solution to that is to do away with Christianity. They believe if there is no Christianity, then there is no Christians to hurt people. Personally, we disagree. We believe even if Christianity ceased to exist as a religion, those problems would still be in place because we don't personally think Christianity is the problem. We think everything comes down to power and control. And we live in a country where Christianity is deeply entrenched in power and in control, and where there are minorities who systemically have less power and who people are taught to believe are against God and are against Christianity and are abominations. And there are some things people can use in Scripture to back up those biases. But we personally do not believe it is any one faith or lack thereof to blame for the misery of minorities, because we think if you took Christianity out of the equation entirely, we think people would still be hurting people just as strongly, because we think it is human nature to hurt what we don't understand. And we think that people will find any means to justify hatred, whether that be justifying it through a religion or justifying it through political means or combining the two as they do in my country. I don't think that hating Christianity is the solution. I think it is well possible to redefine a religion, and I think that these different religions will not always exist, but will exist for a long time after I'm dead, have existed for a long time before we were born, and will continue to exist whether or not we agree with it. And we don't really believe the religion itself is the full problem. We think that power corrupts, and any religion that gets a lot of power will become corrupt, we believe. And even though we ourselves are not Christian, in fact, up until very recently, we were theistic Satanists, no longer is that the case. We don't think that the solution to helping minority groups is hating Christians or Christianity or any of this, because we've met plenty of Christians who were perfectly lovely people, and we've met plenty of Christians who were very wretched people, and we've met plenty of atheists who were lovely people, and plenty of atheists who were wretched people, and other faiths as well. And we don't think the problem is faith or lack thereof that causes people to do horrible things to other people. We think the problem is that when people are afraid of something or don't like something or it's new or different, that it is easier sometimes to blame and hurt whatever this difference in this person is than to learn to change and accept them. And this is something we're keenly aware of as someone with complex post-traumatic stress disorder and multiple other disabilities, that we understand the people who gave us those disabilities may never have to face the consequences of their actions upon us. And part of why we feel so strongly that the solution is not to just get upset at Christians and Christianity, although of course we think debate is important and it's important to stand up for what you believe in. Part of why we don't think that's going to really help anything in the long term is because we think in doing that, people will end up becoming the very thing they sought to escape from in Christianity. The person who abused us for most of our life was formerly a Christian turned atheist. We were raised to be an atheist. We were raised to believe that there was no point in faith, that it was all made up, that it was all lies, and we understand why people hate Christianity. We do. We really understand why. But we do not think you can defeat hate with hate. We don't think it's possible. And it disturbs us greatly to see people, like, even just, defending freedom of religion online. I've had atheists accuse me of, like, defending Christianity, of defending a Christian person, defending their actions, defending the way they were harming other people, when what we actually said was that people have a right to believe whatever they believe, even if we disagree with it, as long as they're not expecting me to agree or expecting other people or, like, demanding others convert. And not all, you can't just go off of a stereotype. Online, it's very easy to form biases and assumptions about people. And we think it would be a very sad world indeed if, instead of learning to accept and uplift and relish in each other's differences of beliefs, if instead we choose to violently oppose differences in belief. And unironically, it is so much more annoying to me to see atheists acting like they are right by default, that because they're... It is more annoying to me to see people presuming there is no other, that they are the one true whatever, and to see them repeating the same things they're getting upset at other people for and justifying it, when we don't think there's any excuse. We think you should judge people by how they treat themselves and others, not by whatever religion they hold or lack thereof. And it's just very sad to see. And we hope there can come a day where religious freedom really means something, and instead of it being this twisted perversion of what it's becoming in the United States, where people can relish and celebrate their religious differences or lack thereof, where I can live next to people of different faiths without fearing, without having these biases that we've been instilled to have, like, oh, are these people going to not see us as a human because of our differences? And I think it starts with learning about your own hatred and learning why you hate things and learning how to control that, and instead act differently. And that's not saying we're not going to, defend ourselves. If a Christian is attacking us, of course we'll defend ourselves, and we do. But it is not defending Christianity to defend religious freedom. It's defending all religions. I think one of the beautiful things about the United States is legally you can believe whatever religion you want to believe. and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a very necessary thing, and it saddens us um, to see the level of religious trauma and how things repeat, and how there is all this infighting and blaming of groups and all of these things when that doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me to get upset at a Christian. It doesn't serve me to, if someone's saying something about our identities or that kind of thing, yes, it does serve me to defend myself, to defend my existence. But I think it's better to, I don't know. It was something Lewis was wanted to talk about